Hi all. The heat management on this is going to be fun. So we have started to make and design a little sort of heat tray that goes and sort of protects all the pipe work, the dry sump pump and all that around there, basically to stop them getting too much heat in that area. This side's not too bad. It doesn't have the AC pump and the alternator there. There's a little bit more room, so we've managed to build like a folded folded aluminum tray in there, and then I'll skin the sides that are more important for the shield and put some insulation similar to this stuff on the back side of it, and then seal it up with another layer of aluminium, and that gives us still about a finger's width gap everywhere around it, so that should help with just not trying to fry everything. And obviously this wall here really handy because all the electrics and everything else goes down this side as well. The other side's not so easy at all. So I've been trying to install this stainless steel wrap over here, so mainly on the pipes that are just very close to the alternator, which is here, just to try and stop any heat sort of from frying the alternator electronics. There's not the room on this side, unfortunately, to put that nice tray. I'll put one in, but only it'll be limited coverage, should we say. It can't really cover the stuff coming down here. I have heat retained, or should I say, if I put covers on anything that's important to basically stop any heat getting to it, but you'll never know exactly until I'll probably start testing until what might need to be altered, but it's one thing more to be done. On the trimming front, so I haven't finished trimming it yet, but we now have the flock on the dash. I can turn it that way around. All the top of the dash is now flocked with the sort of nylon furs. This is a sort of 1/4 inch, or actually even that, probably an 1/8 inch foam with a like velour style material on the back side. This is great for the headline. It gives it a little bit of softness, to be honest, and I'm quite tempted to cover the roll cage in parts of this as well because it's really kind of nice. So yeah, we've got so some cut-offs to do in some places, and I'm still unsure at this point whether to wrap this round the edge where the windscreen attaches a little bit or not, but haven't made my mind up on that. But yes, so the nice soft headlining. So we did glue all the the demist vents and the air inlet vent and the little cable retainers for the catches. So yeah, we've done that. We've been printing on this. I'm tidying up the insides of the doors at this point, smoothing them out, and then basically once we've re-engaged the shape we want there, basically I want to do some as a later prototype of probably not for this particular car, but I'll do a mold of this, the different shape the door is now, and basically do a carbon inner skin. That's the kind of it's a long-term plan, but we need just to finish and touch those up, ready for yeah putting it all back together. And we have had a bunch of stuff come very kindly from a eBay sale of all places, but this is basically a bunch of IndyCar anti-roll bars or anti-sway bars, depending which way you look at it. There's 2 or 3 different types, but it did come with a variety of different blades, which is really handy. So it was worth it just for the price of 2 blades. I bought the whole lot, so which is quite nice. Thanks to buddy Chris for sending me the link to that one. The positioning of this has turned out to be a lot easier than I thought. I'm going to draw it in CAD anyway just to confirm it, but we should be able to. Let's just get it in place. Excuse me for a minute. Okay. I left room above the steering rack. How the hell am I going to hold this? Let's try that. Okay. I left room above the steering rack basically to be able to put, you know, a blade style anti-roll bar. We'll use the 1-inch box that you can see the gold mounted aluminium parts of the steering rack. That 1-inch box it attaches to, we're basically going to attach the roll bar bearing points on either side of there, and then our blade will come up here, and then obviously attach between, how to do this with one hand, then attach from obviously the blade itself, and we'll come up to here. We'll probably end up having a machine a high tensile bolt on here to attach that, to be honest, because it's going to have to come off there. Or we could build a plate to here and attach it to there. Don't know yet. So I've got to play around with the final attachments. But yeah, that's where our roll bar will attach to. So we'll drill another bolt hole in here. I'll share this one bolt attachment there, so we'll have like a piece to come over, and then this shaft will be in a bearing that's here. Obviously the roll bar itself, the bar itself will have to be taken apart as such. So I'll use this piece here, and obviously the blade section. This piece here obviously won't be long enough, as the center piece won't be either. So we'll figure out the angle that this is nicely sat at, and then basically we'll cut this off here, cut that off there, and then I'll machine this piece so it sits in the right position, so it extends over to here with the bearing, and similar to that side, and then basically we'll weld it back up so it fits the right. But this angle's about right, actually. I thought I might have to straighten it off, but actually it turns out this angle suits it even better. So yeah, so our front anti-roll bar, which is the final link on the front suspension components, is pretty much there. So, which is good. We got the XRP hose. There's one hose that it was under could be under quite a bit of vacuum, and it's the hose that comes from the dry sump tank itself, and it's sucking the oil into the pump, and then obviously the pump blows it into the engine. I wasn't happy about using a normal style AN hose fitting and stuff for that, because I just didn't want the hose to possibly collapse. So we've used an XRP Pro Plus or something stupid hose, which is designed to 250 psi of pressure, but also it's designed that it won't collapse under vacuum. So it was ridiculously expensive, like nearly 280 Canadian dollars by the time it got here, but it is now at least guaranteed that I won't lose the oil supply to the engine. I did play with the GTW, which had a 434 cubic inch dry sumped old small block Chevy, and we did see the hoses from the pump to the scavenge ports start to collapse as we revved it up. So that was something I did on that car, and swapped all those hoses out. So I made damn sure that the only real sort of vacuum hose, vacuum grade hose, should we say, was that one. All the other scavenge suction to the pump obviously is all machined into the sump itself, so there's no hose. There is one small hose, I tell you, it's the scavenge for the turbos, but it's a lot smaller hose, and basically it has an air path. So if it oversucks the oil, it actually sucks the air from the inside of the motor before the oil, so that shouldn't be as much of a problem. But yeah, so silly little stuff, getting this ready to put a center section ready to put on. Still playing with the damn plumbing on the the charge cooler side of it, but we do now have a trying to bend with a nice radius, a three-quarter aluminium hard line. Bending the 1-inch stuff isn't too bad, but when I got to the 3/4 stuff, it just didn't bend very well. And instead of buying really expensive, like these pieces here, which are like $40 for one stupid bend, I bought some slightly thinner wall, like refrigeration piping, still 3/4 inch OD, but this stuff is a grade, it's probably closer to pure aluminium, probably more of a 1000 grade than a 5000 or 6000. So this is a lot easier to bend. So we're going to use that as the final pipe to come off of here and go to the swirl pot. Sorry, go to the feeds. That's right, it's the feed of the charge coolers. So yes, not a huge amount of progress, but I'm knocking off all the stupid stuff that needs to get done, and then we can get down to the nitty-gritty of CAN bus programming, so which I'm really kind of looking forward to doing, because it's me sitting down and not having to design too much. It's just me going through my CAN bus hexadecimal stuff. But yeah, that's that's the progress on this anyway. I have been printing some other stuff for the next Lotus project, but that's not really anything to do with the dragon. Okay, so that's the fun so far. Lots of cutting of embossed aluminium stainless steel paneling. I'll get there in the end. Right, speak to you all soon.